Greetings. Oh, hey. Welcome to, I almost said Connects with Guitars. No, that's tomorrow night. Tonight's a Sunday night hang. And I know that because it's Sunday. And I'm hanging right here with y'all. Speaking of, and I don't know the last time it's happened. 2 Sundays in a row. Two Sundays in a row. A fella joins another fella. That means 2 Sundays in a row. You've done double duty on the inner Google. Oh, your wife is not impressed.
Yeah, I've been around a little bit, looks like.
Yeah, a little bit. Good to see you, Charles. How you been?
Very good to see you. Very good to see you. Been a busy week.
Yeah, multiple fronts.
And busy weekend, and hopefully I'll be recharged for tomorrow.
Well, we'll try. Wow, we already got 45 folks in here. We've got Brother Bent Tom. We got Kid Shred, Joe Hervey 84, Ferd Burfel. Yep. Rob Baker, the lawyer, not the guitar player or the hip. BC Rich 581, but number 1 in our hearts.
Here you go.
Devin Cinderwitz. Let's see who else we got. Max Josephson's in here. Now I gotta start scrolling back. Hobo Roadie, Elbarge, unfucking believable. LRM Guitars, Dave Chase, Terry's 3Gs. Oh, apparently Tom gifted like all the memberships, apparently. All right.
All of them.
All of them. All right. So I don't know who has them. LRM Guitars, Octopus Ears, Hip Metalworks, Jay Santiago, Mesa Guitar Guy, Cousin Doug, Down the Back Cornhole Podcast, your number 1 cornhole podcast right here on YouTube. I know. Checks in the mail, right, Doug?
There you go.
Matt McCollum, Graphite and Cigars. It's like they're a duo. You know, it's like Captain and Tennille.
Great combination, you know. You can just see it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. What you're into, like stationery and cigars? I'm not sure.
You know, I originally pictured a guy doing charcoal drawing, smoking a cigar.
I get it. Yeah. I was thinking drafting table, perhaps.
Yeah.
Who else we got in here?
Michael Krause and Tim Thomas, Mesa Guitar.
Good to see Patty. Oh, there we are. I found all the gifted people. Great Vanzini got one. Dan New Jersey got one. Rob Baker got one. Skyprop got one. Jason Lindholm got one. Mason Douglas got one. Graphite and Scars got one. Tim Thomas got one. LRM Guitars got one. Joe Hervey got one. There we are. Now, see, I'm there. JP Page 2. I found a guitar near you. You may have to go just to look at and try it, just to tell me if it's as good, so it can totally haunt me. If he goes, oh, it plays like that.
So it can haunt your dreams.
Yeah, like that Telecaster at Carter's that I still think about. Oh, Tom just gifted 5 more, I'm pretty sure. Tom.
Thank you, Ben. Tom.
You're a wild man. Who else we got? Ben Allmark's here.
Absolutely. I'm on the road, but checking in.
Guitar Corner.
You gotta love it.
All right. I'm going to the bottom. Hey, Anne-Marie from Tell Them Solo Music got one. D. White Bailey. Jay Santiago. Martin got one. Him. Christopher Vella got one. Awesome.
Doug says he didn't get one.
Paul McNary and most of the cats. Did Doug enable it? Did you allow gifted membership? Maybe, get in line. We call them music. There, you got 2 accounts. Well, there we go. Twice the likes. I dig it. I always say that. If you got an alternate account or a troll account, log in under both of them and subscribe and give me a thumbs up, Mazel.
May as well.
Mazel spend it. Can't take the cash with you. Tom's like Oprah. You get a membership. You get it. Everybody's getting 2.
Everybody's membership. Yep.
Awesome. Well,
you gotta love this community, I tell you.
Right? Awesome. Yeah, I didn't get that in the StreamYard stuff, and then I saw Terry mention. He goes, "Oh, that's mine in AC." Yeah, no, right? There's Christopher right there. Christopher Vella.
The StreamYard chat seems to be working really weird. The guys at OU812 are having trouble with it as well.
Yeah, we got 56 folks in here. Yeah, so if I miss something, ask again. And hello to anybody else joining in, because I got distracted and we're like 7 minutes.
Patrick Treitz and Zach Thong, Billy Bologna. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody.
Yeah, next Water Buffalo meeting. I don't know when it is. We'll figure that out. Week and a half-ish, we'll say. Because I just looked at the calendar. It's not quite the end of the month, so we know it isn't this coming Wednesday. It'll probably be the Wednesday post. So, allow Charles here to gain up some more time with the family.
Yeah, just a little bit.
He can take a Wednesday off. Yeah.
Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, thank you, Terry, because I didn't put a link in the description of the video because that would be work. And Graphite says, really enjoyed my playing. Thank you. Last Monday. Yeah, that was fun. That was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I got to dial in the volume a little different because, it was getting loud here the other night.
Well, it's interesting. You used to do that a lot more, and it is very well received. Very well received.
Ooh, we got a super duper chat. From BC Rich 581, but again, number one in our hearts. How do you fabric wrap, Charles? This is for you, not me. How do you fabric wrap a Strat style body? Is it possible to compensate for the pickguard pickup mount and the neck pocket cavity?
You can, and it really all focuses on the layout, right? And the fabric you're using and how well does it fit with that? And can you find, for most fabrics, you can find a complementary color pickguard for it. There are options out there are amazing. There is something new that I'm going to be trying here pretty soon. And I was looking around for a visual aid, but there are clear pickguards. And so I am going to go ahead and try and see if I can't glue a pickguard to the underside of a clear pickguard with some spray adhesive that doesn't leave a trace, and go ahead and line it up so that I have everything covered on a Strat.
All right, so I just got focus. This is breaking news from Trev, who apparently has converted his home into a bar because I see a bar food there.
That is
wings,
exactly what it is.
Rings and tater tots, dipping sauces. There we go. Oh yeah.
But
square plate.
Yeah, to complete that thought, yeah, you can. It's a matter of matching up the fabric with in a pickguard color, or like I said, I am experimenting with the idea of gluing the fabric underneath a clear pickguard and making sure that pattern just lines up. So it's something that I'm working on for a project I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happens, I'll let you know if it worked.
Question for Charles. Another one. No video of sanding the Warlock with all of the angles. Why not film it? Also, tour of the new workshop coming. That's two questions.
That's two questions. I don't know if I can answer both. We
were discussing that off air.
You don't want to. Yeah, sanding does not make a good video, and especially with all the angles. And it is slow moving in a lot of ways. There are places that have to be done by hand, and so I didn't record any of that because can't all the cursing would be there.
Yeah,
and
I said that Charles it seemed like I saw out of an 8 video somehow 2 through 6 got deleted on. And apparently something happened. He shot at it, and then she gone. The video is no more.
Well,
I blame lifestyle.
Yeah, it's amazing on that because I was for sure I'd already put that video together.
Yeah, see, he's got like the Miller Genuine Draft Style clear bottle. I got the dark bottle. I don't understand. It's international. I can't even guarantee we're drinking the same beverage. That's why I got to come down for a visit, just for the Virgils, if nothing else.
Just for the Virgils? Well, you're welcome anytime, my friend.
I think also the Mexican Coca-Cola will be fresher because he's closer to Texas. Or closer to Mexico, being in Texas.
That's it.
Holy shit, it's Charles Green. What's up, bro?
Hey.
Hey, it's Quentin James. See you later.
All right.
I don't know how he has the keys. I don't
know. He's got that the all-in-one key.
He does. Guitar Man 45 reports in, Ben, I think might get another Epiphone, seeing the 105th anniversary Zephyr Regent hollow body that looks like a good deal. Mm-hmm. Yep. I didn't know we were talking about those yet, but yes. Yes. Also, I meant to, before I forget yet again, gear alert. Apparently, at a music store right in JP Page 2's neighborhood of Grand Rapids, Michigan, there's a shop that has a 1990, I want to say, ES 175 in black dual humbuckers, and it's a decent price. I'm just saying. And if I'm just wondering if a fella could go in and just peep on it, maybe noodle on it, and just say, "Hey, yep, it's as good as you think it is." So, why is there a big fly right on my screen? I opened the window for 10 minutes without a screen. This happens. Nature, all the nature. Randy Crooks is in the house.
Oh, there, Randy.
Like you, Charles. Well, I'm only 3 minutes behind in the chat, so.
Yeah, you're doing better now.
I tell you, this fella, he was 10 minutes behind the whole show.
The whole show.
Like a tent in a windstorm, she gone. Yeah, which, Doug, I'm pretty sure that when the boards are really slick, you throw that back, she gone. It makes that sound when it hit. She gone. DJ Play Nice, he's here. RJ, Mad One, great to see ya. Okay, I'm at the part where there's like Mexican Coke. Yep. I want to try the boiling root beer, but I can only get it online, so I got to bulk order a soda pop, so I'm not paying like shipping on just one bottle, because shipping will be the same if it's one bottle or four.
Yeah, and someone was telling me about Moxie root beer on my stream the other time, and I am going to have to get my hands on some of that.
Dang it. Didn't even get them. Headphone users are just blowing out the ears right now. So, it's summer, folks.
Yeah, BC Rich, those Mexican Coats with the cane sugar do taste different. They do taste different and much
better. It's not quite as fizzy, but it's better. It's just like you're like, yes, that's my childhood. Hello. Octopus here says I need less pizza in my diet. Oh, I don't know about that.
That's a tough one. Because I'm thinking I need more pizza in my diet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing and Tom only eating chicken and breasts and avocados.
Got to add more fruit to the pizza, Tom. They just eat wine pizzas all the time. He says, "I said need, not want." I get it. I get it.
It's funny. We were reading the same comment.
Yep. We understand. We understand. That's why I tried to be healthy tonight. I had liver and onions.
Well,
Jim, I'll look it up. I'm sure it'll be in my recents. There it is. Yeah. First thing, I hope it reverb. Is this the one? Yes, it is. Tone Chasers Music. It says they're in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They say it's in very good condition, which is fine. Oh, it looks all right.
Jay Santiago is right. That Warritos is really good soda as well. And my favorite with them is the tamarind.
So now we got to shout out Michael Krause there. And what's up, Fruitcake Tony? Not too late. I want to shout out Michael Krause if he's in the chat. I haven't seen him yet.
He is. I
thought, Charles knows stuff. And Michael Krause, or Charles, first, Charles and Seth, who's off eating all the edibles. That's why we haven't seen him in the chat yet. Because he's already into them, and he's totally lost track of time.
Yeah.
He'll figure it out in another 15 minutes, give or take. So Charles says, they had the premise of their show, Guitar Safari. I'm just saying, by the way, every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central. The theme was, these guys hand you $5,000. What do you get? And I was like, ooh. And they were like, new or vintage? I'm like, well, you can't get any domestic vintage for $5,000 guitar.
Mhm.
Yeah, we figure on that. You know, you're getting it what 80s for $5,000. You know, that's I'm thinking. So I said, oh, I'll get give me a Friedman of some sort variety and a AC-15. You know, that'll take up $5,000. And then Michael Krause is like, well, you've been bitching about getting the ES-175 for years. I've unsubscribed 3 times over the point. In fact, I'm pretty sure. I went, and Martin, you saw it, Charles. You saw the comment because you read Martin's comment. You didn't say mine. We both said the same thing. We're like, you can't for that price.
Yeah.
Well, apparently you can. You can't.
Apparently you can, because a fellow went looking, didn't he?
A fella did, because the fella's got you guys on the computer, so he's got the phone handy with that reverb button there. It's right there. You know, it's able to suck money right out of your life just at the push of a button. It's amazing. And so a fella just typed in, can I find Esther Sister 175er? There it is. And there's all the kinds and the different bursts and naturals, and I want the black. If a fella can get it. Although I think that one, honestly, I'd take in the black, the natural, or the tobacco burst. I'm good all the way around. Jay Santiago asks you, do you like the cello neck tilt on Warlocks?
It was comfortable enough, and so I mean I didn't find anything wrong with it.
Ooh, DeMay, I just thought of that. Yes, Unbelievable says I spent the bulk of $5,000 last Sunday. Well, considering I believe I said in the one video the LP standard is $42 Canadian, and you figure out 13% sales tax on top of that, you're pushing $5,000 just for a Lester Pulphus shaped object now.
But I told him last week didn't count.
Yeah, although I was allowing myself $5,000 US today, so I was giving myself like $7,000 Canadian to play with. Because I figure the show's set in the US, it's US currency. Now, if I offer that question, we're talking Canadian currency, and then the rest of my audience outside of like 14 years go like, "Fuck you! We don't want to do math." I'm like, "Well, I do math every day when I'm watching those." Ooh, new guitar. Ooh, somebody was asking if these were shipping during a show recently.
Thank you, Ben Tom. Appreciate that. He said he loved my tellies in the background.
RJ the Mad One got himself a Badlands.
Oh, did he now?
He did. I'm just saying. He hasn't added a 7th tuner and string yet, but if anyone somehow managed to get it worked out to get a 7-string version of the Badlands guitar, it'd be Mad Raj.
Of course it would.
Awesome. With the wiggle stick, not the biggle stick. Speaking of biggle sticks, you got a guitar that you could put one on now if you wanted to.
Yeah, I suppose I could.
Should we talk about the text conversation the other day? So you mentioned on your show today, and I thought it was interesting because you left out part of the conversation. I noticed. So
I was not looking through a guy under the bus.
And now we'll hear the rest of the story because Charles' wife was under the weather, so he took her over to the doctor. Took the day off work, which he never does. Never does. Workaholic, this man. But he took the day off work, which I don't think he actually had. It's one of those work from home days, so he probably just put camera turned off during the Zoom call. Oh yeah, I'm here, and he's on the Bluetooth in the fucking car, and no, he's phoning in work. So he, turns out the wife's gonna live. This is good. And then he's on the way home. So obviously something was eating in the back of his head. He's like, I need to stop over at the local pound, or the Humane Society, if you will, for the Home for Wayward Guitars, called that local chapter. And so Charles sends me a photo of a guitar that you can see in the upper left corner of his screen here. It looked at first glance a 335 shaped object. Then upon closer inspection, realized it's got Gretsch style pickups in it. And a beautiful, beautiful logo on the headstock, which screamed 1973. So I don't know. I don't know if it is a 75. It could be a 72 because I think they did actually make them as early as 72.
Well, I'm hoping so. That would be nice, but I can only go by what There's not a whole lot of info out there on them.
Oh no, it's all just conjecture, malarkey, and who knows what else. But I looked at it immediately. He's like, and something that Charles and I both have in common. We're both cost efficient gentlemen. To say, a polite way of saying we're cheap.
We're cheap.
So Charles is like, "What do you think?" I saw the price. He's like, "This is what they're asking." I'm like, "That is more than fair." I was snag it up, not knowing that there was extras involved and this and that. And it was funny because you started sending me close-up shots. I'm like, "No, I already zoomed in on the original. I was already looking at all that."
Right,
we're good, right? And so, tomfoolery, John. Yes, exactly. What's up, John DeShane? Brother John.
Hey, John.
So yeah, you got to snag this up because it was as advertised, a 1972 Univox, kind of a Gretsch, kind of a 335, whatever. It's cool. It's a semi-hollow body. Univox. I'm like, first of all, it's going to be unique sounding because it's a 335 with Gretsch pickups in it, without the hassle of putting Gretsch pickups in a 335 of some kind.
You know how I feel about Gretsch.
I got one right here. Yeah, I know. He loves these things. I'm just saying. There it is. I had to get this just so I could get rid of the other one because I couldn't be without a Gretsch within reach. Otherwise, Charles said he would unsub me. So
that's right.
I get it.
Look at the similarity in the tailpieces.
Yeah, I noticed that. I know. Oh, I noticed. I was like, oh, they're ripping off all kinds of stuff. Who's blowing up my Instagram? Oh, call. Anywho's, so Charles like, yeah, I said, okay, yeah, snag it up, dude. And then he's like, oh, I got it for this price minus this and this thrown. I'm like, what? I'm proud. I'm really proud, because I like to think Charles reached out to me early in his guitar journey, and he said, would you like to come along? I said, yes, please. So I've been kind of mentoring the lad on stuff. He's become quite the wheeler dealer, I must say, in the guitar department. That first of all, he's got an awesome, you can see over his other shoulder, this retro hardshell case. Oh, awesome. With yellow mohair inside and fake chrome around it. And then he shows me the capo, and my heart fell in two because in the box, this is the same capo that my father used up until they invented these in the 80s. And so literally Charles has the same capo my father used forever and a day. They're they're way more complex than this. There's math involved, and yeah. I love that thing though.
And even the instruction propaganda.
Right. So yes. So and he got a way better deal than I was. Yes. Well, no, I shouldn't say way better, but with all the extra stuff, yes. Basically, because that was worth 20% of what you paid just based, or more. Mm-hmm. Retail value on all that stuff. Like, yeah, Hamilton capo, Tom.
Yeah, and where else are you going to get these graphics?
Yeah, there it is. The hang tag. Like, oh my god, that just makes me want to puke and awesomeness. I need that on a shirt. Just Univox. I think, the fact that it's got the tag and see, Dan Drew said I haven't seen a capo like that, or capo, but it's capo. Otherwise, you're wrong. My channel pronunciation since the 70s. Yeah. Did anyone ever have the crappy capos with the elastic band? Billy said no, because by the time I bought one, I bought one of these because I was telling Charles off air. I was like, I was freaking out. I went full Shanahan. And I explained how that's what my dad used until he got one of these. And I got one of these basically the same time he got one of those because he's like, I need one of those Nashville capos. And the guys, what's the deuce is a Nashville capo? You know, the ones that all the guys in Nashville are using. See them every night on Nashville Tonight. They're either using them or they got them on the end of the headstock. Just show it off, Charles. It's like having a Snark tuner and being proud of it. You know, they just clip on the end of the headstock. So I have one of these. You know, so they got them in, and Dad snagged one for the Martin, and I got one for my classical because I was playing classical at the time. Oh, excuse me.
And I love they have the box, right? That's just
he has the box in falsetto. Oofda.
There you go.
Right? Not every day you get the falsetto in the box.
Nope, not every day. Did you see? Above Jay Santiago said, "I once told our rhythm guitarist, I got your dad's capo right here." Kidding, of course.
You gotta say it with like that New York accent, right? Yeah, I got your dad's capo right here. And I'm pretty sure then there'll be a hand gesture made of some kind. Oh, Cecil has one of those. Nice. I think I still have. Dad's has to be around here somewhere. I wouldn't have thrown it out. So,
yeah.
God knows I found some old stuff for you. Like I think I found pretty much all of his musical history. Like I even have the sales receipts for his gear.
Well, apparently you're finding a lot of stuff because there's a mystery box you found.
Oh,
we're supposed to talk about tonight.
So a fellow moves a chair, right? You know, when a chair just sits in a certain area, a box that fits the layout of the chair will slide right underneath. So it's not a big box. But yeah, hey, the box is from you, of all people. I'm like, well, let's
that box has been eluding you a lot.
Return address. Well, look at that. It's Sir Charles. So, yeah. So, it's a box that you sent me something in. Whatever, probably.
That is the box from the DOD.
Probably. Let's see. What does it say? Yep, one Dodd stereo chorus. All right, so.
That's the one that you and Mark couldn't find on the front porch.
This is why you always submit tracking numbers to Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so this was it. I thought it was an empty box.
Uh-huh.
So then I opened it up. It's full of pedals.
Oh. Ooh.
Didn't even know I had them. Didn't even know I had these.
Was this part of some pedal deal and they just got filed in a box?
That's what it was. I think these were the ones that L&M didn't want to take last fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they just got put aside. I think Mark was going to snag a couple. But, again, Mark and I, lifestyle choices. Totally forgot. Totally forgot to even own these. And so I was like, what the? Yeah. So, apparently there's 6 pedals in a box that I was not aware of. What's up, Jay?
That is something. That is something else. You're on your way to becoming Bo.
Getting there. I just like to do it without the heart attack at some point in life.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Jim Cox says, "What's in the box? I need a delay echo. I bid $15. There was no echoes in there. What is in there? Let's see. We've got
get your bids ready.
Max distortion. We've got a Joyo noise gate. Unbelievable. Like, didn't I? Yes, he did. And I wasn't going to do a demo on it. We got a slow engine, which is like an auto volume. We got a fuzz. Got a really shitty phaser and another distortion, mini distortion. Shitty phaser. Oof, May. I think it's a
Get
one.
Your bids enough, folks.
Wow. It does like that. I'm like, no, that's 105. It's not a phaser. Well, there's not a demo out on it. Yeah. So yeah. What's up, Kurt? Yeah, I heard the story there. I got the replay under the bus. Holy crap. So Boner Jams apparently sends me a package through UPS, Charles, for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Big mistake. I've been on their list for years. So what do? They accept the package, of course. And then they tried to deliver it and said, I refuse delivery. I never got any communication from that company.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on their blocked list. So they will gladly accept a package, and then just once it gets to the local location, I guess it's only there that I'm banned, but not nationally. I don't know. But apparently they just go, oh yeah, the guy. I'm like, nope, not me. Well, I thought Boner would know enough not to send me something UPS. That's on him.
It might have been they want to see the reaction when UPS shows up.
But they won't.
If they show up. Right, but they won't.
Right.
So just to let you know, Unbelievable is in the chat saying, hey, I sent you those pedals. And Gretch Zeppelin says he's been watching videos on how to cover guitar in fur. He thinks he's going to try it.
Nice. Oh, Dan says it would be fun to make a pedal board of all the pedals you dislike the most and demo it.
Oh, that would be interesting.
That would be painful.
Maybe they come together and they make some kind of magic. Like a bunch of wounded souls that come together and create something beautiful.
Yeah, no. I just me end up throwing pedals against walls, going, I can't get a tone out of this.
Well, just the entertainment value of putting the pedal board together and cursing the whole time. Why am I doing this? It's going to be shite. Just keep going.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking, Charles, for your benefit, I was going to do a demo of the Halo or Hydra, but it's just me reading the manual. We never make it past. It'll just be called a part 1 because we never make it past that point in the demo. And I realize it's 11 minutes in, and we haven't actually turned it on yet. And I would get a lot of hate with the world's shittiest pedal board because people, no, that pedal's good. I'm like, nope, it's shite.
See, Billy wants to see you do it.
Right, like though, folks, are you prepared for my choices for the world's shittiest board? Because what I would do, Charles, we figure out, you got your boost, or let's say a fuzz, a couple overdrives, a distortion,
a
chorus, a phaser, and a flanger, a reverb, and a delay. We could do that, and I would just do my choice of in each slot of worst of the worst. What do you think? What do you say? Like obviously the phaser, boss phaser. It'd be the boss phaser. Which one? Doesn't matter. They all suck.
Insert boss phaser of your choice here.
Yeah. Do we do all the bleeping though, Martin, for the amount of that much cursing?
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of bleeping. I don't know how to bleep.
Just let it go.
I'd have to export that to someone who knows how to bleep videos. I don't know how to do that. That's digital. Well,
yeah,
like, am I allowed to put a tube screamer on it because I think they're a useless pedal? People could be upset. I'm just saying. Presley, I'm just going to say, Seth, it was approximately 15 minutes ago. Well, actually, it was about 20 minutes ago that I said, based on lifestyle choices, someone's lost track of time because he's already got into the edibles. And I said, but don't worry, he'll be here in another 15, 20 minutes. And lo and behold, 20 minutes later.
There he is. So there is a comment from Graphite and Cigars, and he wants to know if I could do something in Chewbacca Fur, and then he would need a guitar strap like Chewie's bandolier.
I like that.
I like this idea.
That reminds me.
And I would do it all in Star Wars shirts.
I know a guy in Kingston. I don't know if he still has. I want to say it started life as a Jackson Kelly. It's an Explorer-shaped object.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a Jackson Kelly. Might be Explorer. The inlays are all Stormtrooper heads.
Very cool.
Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. It's subtle. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, and I believe the knobs may or may not be Death Stars.
Yeah. And graphite and cigars, you're going to have to source that Chewbacca fabric because I'm not getting hurt getting it from the real thing.
You do not want to shave a Wookiee.
No.
That takes a lot of booze on both your part and the Wookiees. And hope they're a happy drunk.
Mm-hmm. So Michael Krause is asking, what is the coolest pedal you've forgotten you've owned? He's had some amazing ones tucked away that he forgot about.
Ooh, that's a good question.
And while you're contemplating that, Wayne McConnell says he had to hold his hands over his dog Chewy's ears while we had that conversation.
I bet. Mark Taft in the house. Well, there's ones that, I don't know if I forget, but I revisit, like when I need to go for a sound, like there's a couple of Lawrence's pedals that aren't necessarily on my board all the time, but then I put it on. I'm like, oh, right. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about the other day because I'm really unhappy. One of the reasons I got the Hydra is because it was a reverb and a tremolo low.
Uh-huh.
And I should listen to my own advice, Charles. I always say,
never combine them. Yeah,
never get the 2-in-1s because you always be happy with one side and the other side's shite.
Mm-hmm.
Or adequate. We'll call it, right?
Or not to your approval.
Yeah. Well, I don't like the trem. I'm not happy with the trem because I got a much better trem that I forgot on my board and would like to have on my board. And I keep forgetting that I have it, and that's why I mentioned it. Easy. It's like, it's like stealing the crystal skull. There we are. This thing is the tits.
Very nice.
I remember having it. It's the
first one. Huh?
Yeah, they build them like this now, but this one's like this, so you can tell because it's the way it is. The fast and slow. You got square wave versus triangle waves, and then I don't know I can't read this stuff because it's in a weird font, like rate. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Is it rate? I don't know. Can it? Yeah. See, it's got these weird names and stuff. And I'm like, is it written backwards, forwards?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So, and there's chips involved. I don't know. I just kind of put it here and let's set it and forget it.
It's almost like they're made up words. And you look at it close enough, they look like made up words.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying. Help a fella understand. But this thing though, Charles, it is it's when you expect when you plug into an old Fender and you're like, it's got a tremolo circuit, right? What you expect you want to hear, whether it is that or not, but that's what this does. What you want,
it does the thing.
I'm saying this is in my head of what. Oh yeah, that's the sound that this does. What's in here, and that's a big deal. That's hard to match the box with the thought choices, if we call them that. I don't know. That's a thing. Probably not. There's no demo out on this because, again, it's 4 knobs and 2 switches. That's a lot of. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Is it too much work?
I really don't want to do a 35-minute tremolo pedal. Although we got a Gretsch in the house now, so a fella could.
It might be worth the while now.
Yeah, but only 4 of you are going to watch it till the end.
Yeah, but we'll watch it over and over again.
Well, there is that. So, I don't know. We'll see. Depends. People, you want to see a demo on this? Let a fellow. And then it's got this weird, I don't know what this means. So there's serial numbers and a guy's signature that looks like Charlie Brown's hair. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, then Devin comes out with the actual stuff that I'm going to forget immediately. And I can't take a picture with my phone because I shoot the videos with the phone and I won't be able to read it. Great shape, depth, and volume. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah, I guess that says that. Wow, I cannot see, though. That's the worst font ever. No wonder they changed after the first run. They're like, yeah, nobody can read these.
No one knows what it says.
Christopher said he'll watch it twice, and I believe him.
There you go. So you got 4 views right there, right now.
Wait on that pedal. We like Brad Guitar Miller. I want to thank Brad Guitar Miller of his choice on beverage containers that he sent me there. That thermal thing that I burnt my mouth with the tea on the show one night. Well, I did the opposite. I put ice in it at like 1:45 in the afternoon, and there was still ice in it at 7 p.m. And I put several drinks in over that. Polly Walnuts in the house. What's up, my friend? Yeah, I've been sipping on the lemonade, Charles, because it's been hot. And lemonade over with with all the ice in there. Let's just say, yep, that's my summer drink for the summer. And getting brain freezes, and then it was just traveling with me. Mark needed a lift to go see his son who's in the hospital. I'm like, let's do her. Got my drink in the console, and it was awesome.
And we're real glad he's doing well. So.
Yes. Yes, we are. I'm surprised the cat hasn't made an appearance tonight. I'm just saying. She knows you're on. She must recognize your voice well. Is that right?
Maybe.
I
believe it says from here on out, he's sending you the cheapest EQ pedals he can find via UPS.
I won't get them. I will not get them.
And thanks to the folks that have been subbing during the show. I appreciate it.
Yes. Everyone should be checking out Charles' show along with Seth. Guitar Safari. That's not the theme song. Could be, but it's not. Still waiting to get in the studio.
We've broken 300 while we're on the show today. So
sweetness! I remember 300. It'll focus for that bubblegum. Oh yeah, except I got 1 bar of service here. 68 watching. Yeah, it's that stuff. So, Dane Electro EQ. Bite your tongue, Billy.
Well, there was a comment. I believe it was Michael Kraus that had put a comment in earlier, asking if you would do a full Dan Electro pedal board.
Nope. Well, I will say the Cool Cat Chorus, the bigger enclosure one, run at 18 volts. Other than that, it does do a volume boost. That's the problem. You can run it at 7 or 18, Charles. If you're or 7, 9 or 18, which makes more sense. If you run at 9, you get a volume dip when you engage it, which sucks. So then you flip it over 18. Now you get a volume boost when you engage it. So no, it's a good sounding chorus, but you got to put a fucking volume pedal with it. So no. I owned one of their tuners for a period of time. Again, the bigger enclosure, the nicer series, not the Fab series, but the bigger ones. It kept giving me stuff like B sharp. What? What? And that's when I still dug their shit because I didn't realize to buy their new shit they were overpriced. I was still unaware because you can still buy their old stuff used. And well, it's like RJ's show yesterday. His topic, Charles, cheap guitars. Are we into them? Whatever, type thing. And the
that was a great show, though.
Yeah, but did you notice what the thumbnail? He's holding a fucking Dan Electro. I'm like, that's not a cheap guitar. Because that was my first thing. I'm like, let's define a cheap guitar. That was my first question in the chat. I'm putting this in before the show even starts because I know RJ looks at the chat. Let's define. Because I was waiting for them to say Dan Electro. I'm like, fuck you. They're $1,000 here, RJ. I love you, but no. They're not considered cheap guitar. Cheap build, yes. Cheap ass, definitely. not cheap.
But he does talk about it. He did talk about it later in the show. It's okay, relative. He was like, okay, well, what is a cheap guitar price for a cheap guitar to you, right?
Yeah.
Because it's different. I mean, if you're playing, if you're playing the guitars like the Taylors he's playing, a Dan Electro would be a cheap guitar relative to that, right? And so,
and the thing was too, like, a few guys, including Steve from Boston, said like $300. I'm like, where since COVID started have you been able to buy a $300 guitar that's not a fucking project or a used Affinity? Yeah, it used to be you buy Epiphone Les Pauls around here all day, $300 to $350, depending on condition.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way they were. And it's like those are $6. It's like there is no, like, literally $300. You can't even get it with Karima or Beretta Special for 300 Canadian anymore. They doubled in price, Charles. They went from like $250 to $500. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, they're good, but I know they're undervalued before, but they're sure as hell now worth $500 Canadian. Jesus, or whatever they put it, $379. No, they're pushing 400. That's what it was. They're pushing 400.
Well, it's like you and I were talking about before we went live. The prices for used stuff, right?
Oh wait,
they're trying to start for more than what the
60%. It's now like 75% retail.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, and I wanted to say hello to Seth from Presley, California Customs, my co-host on Guitar Safari. Really enjoy working with you on that.
Apparently didn't need this earlier because it's already packed and I didn't have it. All right, well, that's fine.
Well, maybe it was for organized chaos as the show unfurled.
Well, we do have 74 people watching somehow, some way, Charles. So if people haven't already subbed to Charles75N, do it. Do it now, please.
Too kind, thank you.
Now we're down to 73, but that person just left to go subscribe. I'm sure. They'll be back. They'll be back. Sure, they'll be back. 3 hours. We're now been live for 7 hours. They haven't come back yet. We're waiting.
So Guitar Man 45 says the cheap acoustic here is a PRS Angelus 60.
You know how I feel about PRS acoustics, Charles. I played one so far, and I think, yes, call it a PRS, except you got one of the letters wrong. Did not play well.
Well,
hit that light, yes, please.
I have been enjoying my guild a whole bunch, and it made me rethink the whole acoustic thing and how many I need.
Well, see, I'm gonna say, all right, wait. Okay, I think I have my idea. How many do we need, Charles?
I'm thinking 4.
Sorry?
I'm thinking 4.
4? I was thinking 4. Even though technically with my hand being what it is, one of the 4 being a 12 string, I can't play, but I like the idea. That would be one, and okay, so we need a dreadnought. 28 or a 28 variant, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, some kind of an O series maybe / parlor guitar, like something smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of experience with like the O's. I don't know the double O, triple O, triple. I don't know. I don't know the O's that well. Although what I do know, Charles, I played that Shawn Mendes signature guitar there, and as I said in the demo, I don't know who the fuck Shawn Mendes is, but he designed a nice guitar, and I say that because he gets final approval on a signature guitar, so he designed it. Possibly a jumbo body, or I was thinking like I'd have a D28 and a Gibson, either a Hummingbird or a Dove, or both. Yeah, because they sound different than a Martin. They have that more scoop sound, and something about a Hummingbird with a cherry burst. Like if you're gonna go Hummingbird, you got to go full Hummingbird. Get the cherry burst paint job.
And Unbelievable says acoustics by 4 Yamahas, all good, no kidding. And every Yamaha I've picked up, it sounded really good. And
I think it seems to me, I think I have owned some Yamahas, and I always found they were on par with like the Fender Japan stuff. Like it used to be, the Fender acoustics came out of Fender Japan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when we were teenagers and such, when I was buying Fender, and they were still cheap ass guitars, but you could snag one for about 100, 150 used. And yeah, they play great. They play just like as good as the modern lower end Fenders, we'll say. Do they last? I don't know. I never see them around in pawn shops or anything, so I don't know. Is there millions of closets full of Fender acoustics? I don't know. People don't let me in their homes to check their closets. Otherwise, now there's a video, Charles. Do I just walk around the neighborhood and start? You seem to have especially like it looks like you've lived in this home for a while, because it can't be someone that just moved in. You look like, like, let's say an older gentleman's tending to, especially if they got a garden or flower bed, like, the lawn's kept up, so they're fucking like retired, or Dutch. All the Dutch have beautiful yards, folks. Hey, can I check out your closet for any musical instruments that may have been?
But you got to go full on hippie, right? Take the rubber band, take the tie out of your hair, no hat, hair down. And how many houses can you do before before the police come?
Right. This is the question. Yeah. And we'll just shoot it guerrilla style, which is basically me and somebody following me shooting it this way.
I'm liking this idea because there are guitars tucked under beds and in closets everywhere.
Yeah. Like this is like
especially
Guitar Safari Home Invasion Edition. You're polite about it. As soon as you knock on it, as soon as the pearl was over, excuse me, we're looking for musical instruments. We've hit the jackpot. We found one of our own. You go into the basement, the guy's got the whole room set up like we do. He's got Phil McKnight playing on the computer when we walk in. We're like, all right, he's one of us. He's one of us. He's one of us. Okay. Moving on.
So yes, the end of the video is you holding up a cardboard sign with where to send the bail money. I'm liking this idea. But yeah, there's lots of talk in the chat about guilds, and I will tell you, I absolutely love my guild acoustic, and it just continues to blow my mind. And some Taylors and all that kind of stuff.
I see BC where it says Ben, like Ben's never done this before. Okay, now Charles, I don't know, probably I'm sure the same thing down there. When it comes to yard sales, people like showing up at 6 a.m. at yard sales for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So quite often, the family will set up stuff the evening prior.
Yeah. So
quite often, because figuring out various routes around town in the area, when I worked for Napa, I'd take residential streets on occasion, right? So I see signs for yard sales. And because, let's say, I'm a little aggressive with the go pedal when delivering auto parts, I'd allow myself a couple minutes free time here and there. So if I saw a sign on a Friday, and I'd show up, little delivery with the hat on the roof because it's Napa, right? I get out. Hey, you got any musical instruments? And they're like, it'd be a yes or a no. Yeah, we got this old Saturn acoustic. Actions like this. No, thank you. Have a nice day. Always, Charles. Always. And I'd hit one a month in the summertime, like half a dozen over the course of the summer for a few years. I was doing that. And still do it. Slow down. Hey, what do you got going? You see any musical instruments? Nope. Or because you're not going to see pedals. You won't find pedals, but you can find electrics, acoustics, and amplifiers. And by amplifiers, we mean like the the Pines, the stuff where you buy them just for the grill cloth, folks, is what I'm saying. Can we get a light on that? I don't know. Why don't we put the flashlight on the phone?
This is starting to sound like a really good idea to do with distant family members.
Like, look at that. And that.
Yeah. Love that.
Both of them. Because the other one's red with sparkles.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, red sparkle
You gotta
growth
love
lock.
it. You gotta love it.
You know, and they'd be like, "Oh, you give us $20 for done." I don't care if it works. If not, worst case, I got the coolest lunch pail in the world. You know, you're like, are you carrying around a gutted solid state combo amp for a lunch pail? Yes, yep. I am. All right,
jealous, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Just take that lunchbox head thing to a whole. Thanks again, Terry, for the link to Charles's channel.
Yes, certainly appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I got all kinds of ideas of Guitar Safari stuff too. That's when you're always, I'm waiting for the addendum at the end of the show. If you would like to hear a comment or a topic, submit to your comments too. Blah blah blah. During the credits.
There you go.
The first one of us figures out how to do superimposed credits over the video, so then it's like we could be talking like this, but it mutes us, and then the credits just roll. Well,
it'd be cool.
Oh, first person that does that, 1 million subs right there. Like, come on. And if someone can figure it out for a fella, let me know. I could have my patrons, maybe the channel members. Sure.
You remember how we were talking about 4 acoustics?
Yes.
I was on board with your choices, right? Because my thought was, okay, you need the dreadnought.
Yeah.
Either a dreadnought or a stadium, right? One or the other.
Dreadnought adjacent. Yeah.
Right. And then you need...
Stadium sounds like a Taylor term, and I don't do Taylor terms. Sorry, Bo, but I don't.
And I was thinking, okay, well, you do need a parlor. And I was with you on that because...
small noodle on. Yeah, that's talk about couch guitar. Dreadnoughts sound great, but they're not a couch guitar. They're loud, they're big,
right.
They're kind of like my cousin.
And then you need the acoustic electric cutaway, right?
Ooh, yeah, I never even thought of that.
You got to have one of those.
What do we do? Get a Kramer Farrington then?
Yeah.
Because that's really a Fender Acoustic Sonic, but done in the 80s and with a cooler looking headstock. So Kramer Farrington.
And then a 12-string.
It's kind of shitty as a Takamine anyways.
Yeah. And then a 12-string. And then L&M Guitar Corner had come in. Martin said, you need one fine holy grail for outdoor, one resonator, and if you can play 12-string, there you go, it's more.
I can play 12-string. Yeah, I used to could. I don't know.
Right. So he's right. You need that holy grail one that you're going to hold on to, right? That's everything to you.
Yeah.
You're Martin.
That's
right?
That's your
one that goes outdoor and you don't care what happens to it, right? And I wonder why he said resonator. Could it be
five? Wait, if I do resonator at 6, but 5, no, because I need a classical. I need a gut string. I forgot. I left that off list. I need one.
Don't forget though, the parlor doubles as a gut string because a lot of the parlors are nylon string.
Ooh, no, because I want a smaller. Hey, John. No, I want a smaller steel string and a nylon string. Ooh, I get one of those Godins. The Godin with the Godin with the electric and the digitals. It's not
you're going all Canadian again. Okay.
Well, it'll sound a hell of a lot better and probably play better than a Kramer Farrington from the 80s.
There you go.
It just works every time you plug it in.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. Yeah.
Unbelievable saying Ovation Viper.
No. Friends don't like friends by ovations. Like friends by Takamine. Was it you that brought up a Takamine the other day, Charles?
I did. You and I were having a conversation because I was saying, after when my brother came down to visit me, he brought his acoustic because he wanted me to show him a couple things and he wanted me to do something to it.
What's up, Eddie? And
it was it was not something that a beginner should be playing. The quality of this guitar, right? And so I decided that
it's not a guitar.
I decided that I was going to find him a better one, and I was, and you and I were having a conversation about the things I was looking for, and the list was Yamahas and Sigmas, and I had at one point I had said Takamine because I'd heard them; they were really good, but I've never put my hands on one. And you were like, no.
There's one reason a fellow buys a Takamine, and that's because he had to be plugged in on stage. And they were the first guitar company to really figure that out to a certain extent, with the preamp and the whatever the hell they were doing. And that's the only reason. That's why you saw all those Nashville people in the 80s playing Takamines on stage. You can plug them in. It's the only reason.
Yeah.
That shitty piezo sound, Charles, you hear when you plug in an acoustic on stage?
Right.
You unplug it and take it into your living room, you still have that shitty fucking sound. That's the problem with Takamines. They sound like that all the time, in my opinion. Young Mr. Radford.
You gotta love it. Well, I heard the guitar for that.
That's just a cool thing because they just skip out on you all the time. So unless you put, I don't know, Velcro on the back of one and Velcro on your gut, something. I don't wear flannel with a piece of Velcro on the back of it. I don't know. No. I mean, what's the point?
Well, I heard that the guitar to have on stage and plugged in would be a Yamaha APX 500.
Okay. John says he's got a tack. Sounds fine to me. I think John must be tone deaf. If it sounds fine. No. John's unsubbed. That's good. All right.
Oh.
I'm sure there's got to be some that sound decent enough that they stay in business, but fuck, I haven't heard one or played one. Then again, for me to play a nice Taylor, it's got to be ridiculous. Because I did play some ridiculous Taylors that were nice, like
that Cole one.
Yeah, Mark, we play. It was like, it's only 13,000 Canadian, and that was like fucking 10 years ago, Charles. It's probably 20 grand now.
My.
On sale for $8,000. On sale for $8,000. You can have it for half price. Fuck, it's still more than a car. No.
Hello there, Eddie Fay.
Eddie Fay in the house. Breed Love. Those are some nice
Love,
guitars. Yeah. We used to have a female solo artist on the acoustic. Lucy D was her name, stage name. She opened several shows for our band. Because, having a solo acoustic as an opener, Charles, is cheaper than hiring a whole band as an opener.
Of course.
Right? Cheaper. So, and out-of-town gigs, you just need one extra seat in the car. That's it. So, even though she lives like 3 hours away. Anyways, she played Breed Loves. And she had a Dreadnought Breed Love and a Parlor, because she wasn't a very large lady. Because she played the Dread, and it looked like, I don't know, it looked like a jumbo that's been exploded upon with us.
Mm-hmm.
She was not a large woman, a foot shorter than me, and 100 pounds soaking wet. And then so the Parlor guitar worked. Unbelievable says Breedlove necks always bugged me. I tell you. Trust us, you can't offend me. I don't give a shit. Perfect. That's why I love John.
Yes. Oh boy. But yeah, the journeys we take, right?
Right. Yeah, and then it's always I need like, do I need an F-hole acoustic just to have because they do a thing in a sound? Like an old Gibson F-hole style or something.
I've always liked the looks of those, and
175.
But the eye tells me they don't play that well.
Right.
So,
well, plays like a jazz box. They're probably very quiet and dark. What's up, Boner Jams? Oh, I did the rant earlier, Boner Jams. You have to go back. Same subject as the email I sent you the other night.
It'll be time indexed for you later in the replay.
Yeah, somebody will time that for you. Jay Santiago says, I love the playability of PRSs, but can't stay on the tone. I don't know. You know what I don't hear though, Charles? A lot of PRS owners like messing with pickups and stuff. Usually, like they get their guitars and that's it.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, you don't have to. It's a PRS. They're perfect. You don't have to do anything to it. Bullshit. You got to do stuff. It's a guitar.
There is a lot of swapping out of. There actually is a lot of swapping out for pickups there, but there's like certain models of PRS pickups they try to swap them out for. Right. So they're taking one PRS.
That's the other thing. Like, are they a weird shape, size? Like, you can't just throw a Seymour Duncan in one.
Yeah.
Because I swapped out these for the blah blah blah. I'm like, isn't that a lot? There's still fucking PRS pickups. You know. I don't know. Says the guy though looking though to put different Gibson pickups in his Gibson.
Okay. But it's all we're all chasing our own tones and where we're trying to go, right?
We are. And then we will now. None of us will admit the guilty secret. It's all just our hands. Admit
it. Gotta love it.
We tried a Canuck Con a few years ago, Tom, pre-COVID. We did a Canuck Con. It did. Yeah, there was like 6 people there, Charles. It was interesting.
But there were 6 people having a great time.
We took over Arden's music for an afternoon. They were not having a good time. Soccer moms with little Joey. Let's find you a new guitar. Wow, there's a lot of long-haired, greasy people in here playing on guitars.
And they're not buying nothing.
And they're not buying that thing. We had coffee and donuts and lemon squares downstairs. Reception area, if you will. And then, of course, and at least 3 of us outside smoking or vaping at any given time. In front of loitering in front of the store.
But, you would think as a music store owner, if you had, people of that look vaping outside of your store, they would think this must be a really good music store because look who's showing up.
This is what I would think. If I see a crowd of people outside a music store, I'm in. It's got to be a cool shop.
Yeah.
All right. This idea, BC Rich, has been thought about for quite some time. So, yes, it's all a question of having a co-driver, okay, and a decent size recreational vehicle that 2 people can cohabitate in without wringing each other's necks before we make it to Maryland. Right? And the idea was you got to be close enough that each couple days, it's like Lillis Hobo. I got to be moving on. You don't know the show. You're not Canadian. Sup, Albus? I'm of course you're not.
No, I'm a
let's say every 2 to 3 days, a fella pulls into another fella's driveway because you just make sure you got room. We pull it, and in between, on the way, you hit various music stores, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we would do, creating content, hopefully, hitting mom and pops across the way, and like I say, a couple days here, a couple days, especially if it's an area like where you are, Charles. I might be settled in for 3 or 4 days because I know there's various things that I can create content on. I can do like the Charles75N factory tour. Whole video's 39 seconds, but he was like, there it is. But it's there. It's a video. Whatever, and then someone lives in a more rural area on the way, like we'll visit Paul and the cats.
Well, see, if you came to
a lot of content outside of whatever the hell Paul's got laying around.
Well, you hit Texas, you get both me and Ferd. So
this is true. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Now, as I recall, Ferd lives in an RV, and I believe he lives in an RV park. And I'm pretty sure I'm the only guy that could pull in to visit a fella in an RV park and bring down the property values. because you're coming in hot all the way from Canada. So, the whole back of the once was, I'm picturing a white RV with the two-tone tan down the side, wrap around the back, but the whole back is just a combination of dirt, various lubricants that have leaked out of the drivetrain during the journey. So it's, differential and transmissions and oils and right up the whole back.
Yeah.
Not a mosquito in sight. Right.
Oh, there's an upside to everything.
Yeah. How would you improve fuel economy? Well, she's only been running on 7 since Arizona, so
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Your Junkie 35. Your Junkie 35 is in the chat. Hello there.
What's up?
He's gonna have to catch the replay.
Yeah, you see, that drive down the eastern seaboard
Mm-hmm.
in the fall.
Of course.
In the fall.
Leaves changing, all that, yeah.
All that, we get all the leaves, and then once we get to the end of that, then you got to hang right, and so get down into Florida, do the Florida thing. Then I dip on out, and then we hit Ryan Hall on the way back, mid-south thing, up into Alabama, Tennessee. Just skirting because it's getting cold then, Charles. So, you have to spend a lot of time in Tennessee. Yep, there it is. We've been here. And then you start angling back down towards the southwest. And the idea, and then that's how you spend through winter, right? And then somehow you start going up the west coast around springtime.
I love it. Love it. And hello, Tomsy49 got in late. Cheers, Ben and Charles from small town Saskatchewan.
Jay Santiago asks, Ben, what does Go Dunk mean? That would be Daryl Dunk Dwarf from Killer Dwarfs. Must be my Killer Dwarf shirt that I've worn in videos because it says Go Dunk on the back.
Probably. Most of that. Yep. But this is quite the trip. Yeah, and you can summer in the south and west. Yeah, sure.
Well, that's the winter, and then springtime you start heading up the west coast.
Mm-hmm.
So then by spring thaw, we're at Trev's place.
Yep.
And then back
better stop by and see John too.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? You hit Trev. And well, actually, we go out to hit the island to see Hip. Driver in God's country. And then on the way through, then we hit Trev and John. Get over the Rockies. Then I got to head the fuck up north to hit Patrick Trites because he's like west of Edmonton. And he's the only person west of Edmonton. So what the fuck's west of Edmonton? Fucking Rockies. And then nothing. And then the ocean. Patrick Trites, apparently. So. Well, there you go, Jay. Jay's a Dwarves fan. Yeah, and then took your advice on the first release. Excellent. Video's being shot August 20th.
Very good.
Well, then, yes. And Aaron, I was going to hit you up in the next week or two about coming on to hang. I'll hit you up soon on that.
Well, looking forward to that video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard the whole album, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bella says, hey, what's your opinion on what should be the lead single? And so I got a choice of all the tracks. So a fella listened to all the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Mazel. And then, yeah. I do. I just have to go back in the I didn't actually download it.
So Keith H says in the chat he has a guitar to your liking organ.
Sorry, what now?
Keith H was in the chat and he says, I have a guitar to your liking, Oregon. I'm not sure where that's going from there.
I think he's in Oregon.
Is he now? Okay, that would make sense. So he wants to be in on the route.
Well, yeah. Well, see, after California is Oregon.
Yeah. Of course.
And then, I figure from Oregon, rather than going straight up Charles, we got to, we dip a little east, so we hit Scott Parkway in Idaho.
Yeah.
And then we veer back across, so I'm going to see a lot of fucking trees between driving across Oregon and back across Washington State. That's all the fucking trees. That's all the trees. That is the Pacific Northwest, and I'll see all of it. Mazel. Because someone wants to drive over the Great Divide twice.
The other option is stopping at campgrounds and having people come to you, like a regional.
That option. Well, you say campground, I say Walmart parking lot.
Same thing.
Urban campground. Right?
Just make sure you're near the outlets.
Exactly. Or a storm drain. Shitter's full, Clark.
Yeah, Unbelievable says, don't forget to hit Arizona. Just a few people there to visit.
Arizona is after Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think I'm stopping in New Mexico. I don't know. Do we have any New Mexicans here? Is that what you call New Mexican? Yeah, I guess.
I would think so.
We're like Mexicans, but we're new. We're New Mexican.
Well, in Arizona, you've got Unbelievable, you got Phil, you have Blackjack Guitar and Rico B.
I thought Blackjack Guitar is in Toronto area.
I don't know. In my mind, it's Arizona. I don't know why.
Pretty sure Blackjack Guitar is at Canuck.
Okay, well, you're probably right. I'm old and foolish.
Also, Hobo Roadies in Oregon.
There you go.
Yeah, hit Lawrence up and Phil and
Chris. Lawrence as well, yeah.
Anybody else I know in Arizona? I think I know. Ooh. Mesa Guitar Guy. He's probably in Arizona.
That's right.
I'm hazarding a guess, Charles. I'm just going to.
It stands to reason. It stands to reason.
Well, considering otherwise he's a big Mesa Boogie fan.
It could be that too. But yeah.
He's a guitar guy, and I don't recall Mesa Boogie making a guitar. What's up, Michael Torin? Michael Torin, could you reach out to me? Email me at connectswithguitars@gmail.com. I'd love to do a show with you sometime. I love Michael Torin. He's got all the cool amps. And he just got Charles, a vintage AC30.
No.
Yes. I want to say it's 63. And that's the good one.
Oof.
That's the good one.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, don't forget Zims in Arizona. Yeah. Right, Patty.
Yeah. I get thinking of loitering and not buying anything and trying all the guitars.
Mesa Guitar Guy says Arizona's nice, just not right now.
No, that's winter. I wouldn't, as a Canadian, I refuse to visit Arizona between June and September. It's just not happening.
So and Mesa Guitar Guy also says he had a Boogie amp back in the day, but now Mesa is for Mesa, Arizona for sure.
That's what I figured.
Yep.
I know a lot of people in Mesa apparently for some reason. That's the cool suburb of Phoenix, in my opinion, Charles.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, Scottsdale's too upscale for me anyways.
They might not let us in.
Sundial, I think that's just there to have sports stadiums. I don't think that's. Plus, I don't want to visit a place called Sundial because that sounds like there's not a lot of clouds.
Not a shady area in sight.
Not a shady. It's only shady when I show up.
You become the needle of the sundial when you park.
Yeah. Yes, Ben Tom is building a full rack system now, Charles.
Well, it was just a matter of time. He's been accumulating that stuff for quite a while.
Oh, yeah, but now he's accumulating, like when he sends me a photo, or I should say photos, of just a patch bay for a rack. All those patches. I'm like, oh, good God, no. That's like 43 cables right there, including the power cable. That's why it's an odd number. I don't know why it's powered. I don't know. So, yeah. There he is. Now we can start the show. We've been killing time for an hour and 21 minutes until Josh showed up.
And there he is.
Yep.
That's a new expression for me. Fork me with a spoon.
Shut the front door.
Mm.
Old Town just sounds like you go there and it looks like Tombstone. Like,
Yeah,
everything's made of Adobe.
Adobe.
They got double swinging doors. I'm like, this can't be good for the guitars.
Yeah,
It's
dry rotted brown wood.
reason here.
This is definitely.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle Arizona. I know I can't handle Texas this time of year because it's like Arizona, but with fucking humidity.
Yeah. It's been fun here lately. We are hot, and did I say we were hot?
Right.
The rain we were supposed to get today has not materialized.
Oh, great! So all the humidity without the relief.
Yeah, and so it's actually a cooler day for us today. It's only 96 here today.
Only, yeah. It's like when you joined in the other night from the shop space. It's just like, I'm like, did you just get out of the shower? Because you're just so cold snack in hand. Loved it. It's like, yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna die out there without cold snack.
Yeah, I had I had cold snacks out there, and now that fridge is filled with nothing but water. It became a reality really quick.
I realize you can't live off beer alone in that kind of heat. It does something to another fella, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
It definitely does. And of course, I'm sanding, so I've got the filtered mask on.
Right. Wait till you get to spray the clear, and you don't want to get on. So you got a paint suit on. Richie has told me about days like that working because he would wear a paint suit, and then you'd have to actually cut holes in the elbows to allow the sweat
to drip out.
Because you're doing this, and all of a sudden you're like, "What the deuce?" Because that's the whole point. Yeah.
Guitar Man 45 just had a storm pass by. Well, geez, thanks a lot. Send it this way.
It's only 110 now. Gotta run. Be well, brothers and sisters. Not looking forward to
Take care, unbelievable. Appreciate you.
We do appreciate you, my friend.
And I said it's 96 now, and keep in mind it's 8:27 at night, and so it's been over 100 today.
All the AC.
Yeah. It's to the point where your AC is like, come on, give me a break. Turn me off for just a little while.
Actually, I turned mine off before I came down here because it was 67 down here. 76 in Alabama. That's doable. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, Ferd's down to 88.
Oh, now he's showing off. It's all those trees they got there in East Texas.
Yep.
Providing shade and whatnot,
Right. Oh, it's 70 in Anchorage. Jeez. Yes, for medical purposes, Cecil. Sure. Actually, since I'm actually technically at work right now, it's for business purposes.
Michael Krause says his last storm had tornado warnings. Boston isn't supposed to get that stuff.
Right? That was us a few weeks ago when we're getting tornado warnings in this area. I'm like, what? So we don't have the terrain for that. But apparently, they just do that. They all hang around the sky, Charles, and also they'll just dip down for a minute or two, and then just again. I don't know this stuff. I'm Canadian. We don't have them around here. That's an Alberta problem. That's not an Ontario problem. That's an Alberta problem.
So are you getting a lot of that smoke from that?
No, somehow, somewhere.
No.
Although we're halfway through fire season, and we've already set the record for most hectares burned in a single year, and we're only halfway through the year, and we've already set the record by a lot. We've already set the record. I believe there's approximately 600 forest fires going on right now. Yeah, 600. The problem is a lot of them, it's very remote. Charles doesn't think there's nobody out there. It's like,
yeah,
the difference between America and Canada, 90% of America is the 48. I don't know about Alaska factors into this stat or not, but let's just assume the lower 48, if you will, for my American friends. See, I know terminologies.
There you go.
90% of your land's developed, whereas in Canada, 90% of our land is not developed, which hashtag all the trees.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and those
floors. It's a cyclical thing, and unfortunately, with climate change, things being a little warmer, a little drier, it's all the ers. It's the ers that add up. It's all the ers.
All the ers.
Yeah, 500 in BC alone, apparently. Wayne says, hey, Wayne McConnell. I know that name. I met Wayne through Charles75N. See, Charles, you did the thing. Hey, how did people get here? Thanks, Ben. And I appreciate that. Very kind words, that you guys all said. But I can say I met Wayne through you.
Wow.
Through you. So it does come the other way. That's why I was I'm like, I got Charles on tonight. And I don't know if he even mentioned it during the show, but they're like, we know you guys. Because a lot of it is the crowd.
Yeah.
I think I knew 95% of your viewers right off the bat because there's a lot of water buffaloes,
There's a water buffaloes in there, and a lot of folks are just straight out your community, right? So much appreciated all the support on that, and everybody that has been watching the replays, and it's really nice because we have a decent crowd on Sunday mornings as a small little channels, and so it's nice. So appreciate the community out there being a part of that.
Mm-hmm. It's it's growing and changing every day too. Mm-hmm. I'll say more likely growing than changing. Like, you do get people that drop off. Like, funny enough, Charles, I saw a post. I was on the Face Space this morning, and I saw a post of a gentleman. I'm like, I know that name, but it wasn't like immediately clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, and it was a guy that I haven't seen him in years in the community, but obviously we became friends, say 5-6 years ago in the community he was around. And so I'm like, well, what's he been up to? So, fellow browsed his timeline. It doesn't look like he's really into guitar anymore, but he's really into fishing. I'm like, all right, you found a new passion, and he's down in Florida. So I'm like, when I say fishing, you can do fishing inland or fishing. You got both the kinds of fishing.
You've got both the fresh and the salt.
All the fishing in Florida. Yeah. So, yeah, some days he's holding fish like this. Yeah. I'm like, you proud of that? Okay, let's get him a stream. And then they'll say, yeah, I got this. I'm like, oh, Jesus, that's bigger than you. One of those. So I get it. There's only so many days in the week. So that's how we change. Or, some people meet a special someone in their life, and then they don't have as much time for us. That's fine too. I get it. And nothing wrong with that. Or you got so much time because you got the wife, and then all of a sudden, something happened, lifestyle choice. We got a youngin' on the way. Well, guess what? You just lost a fuck of a lot of time. So you're like joshing her an hour and a half late.
Yep.
And
you got too thick in your eyes watching it at midnight because you don't have any other time.
This is true. Shout out to you guys watching on replay.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. And we still got 68 people watching. That's amazing. Or New Guitar Day. Exactly. or it's funny too, because especially in today's day and age, we'll say post-COVID in a way, if someone goes missing for a few days, other fellas start getting restless. You know, like, have you seen Charles around? Like, it's easy. His brother's in town. He's having family time. Oh, okay, awesome. You know, but they don't know.
No, they don't know.
Day 4, and we're like, oh, Jesus, Charles bought one too many guitars, and his wife lost it, and now he's in the hospital. Like, we don't know. He doesn't have
will be a headline one day, I'm sure.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. You know, or Paul McNary. Everyone's like, where's Paul? Where's Paul? We don't know. Paul's not exactly a social media type guy. You know?
Right.
Turns out Paul was off in fucking Denver, you know, or
building a guitar.
Like pickups, or he always hanging out Texas Toast. That's what it was, Texas Toast, building guitar. Well, there we are. Problem solved, you know. Apparently, McCollum's got new guitar day on the Insta Faces. All right.
Uh-oh. We have a picture?
Yeah, apparently. Come on, load. I know. I have the Wi-Fi turned off, so we could dedicate to the shit poor connection I have now. Yeah.
Well, Sassy Cat makes a good point. He hasn't seen Cheddar Kung Pao in a while.
Cheddar was around, and then he was gone, and he came back. And then he's gone, and I like Cheddar. I've hung out with Cheddar in person. I hung out with him at Sweetwater Gear Fest way back in the day. A lot on his plate at times. Lovely wife. Assume they're still together. You know,
I always enjoyed watching that channel.
Yeah, nice tasting gear. Ooh, you know, and that's people were like kind of, oh, you got all the best gear, but you're not the best player. Well, what the fuck? If you can afford it, why not? Mazel. You know, the guy works hard. You know. He said before that he was in the cars. So, you know, if you want to talk about depreciating value, buy a BMW and modify it. You know, used to help out Henning. Exactly. And I think, it just got a little too much. And he's had some mental health issues. Like, and I only say it because we all do. A lot of us do. And that's why we lean into playing guitar and we lean into music. Shit. But, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm not saying what type or anything, but I remember him talk about it in a video, you know, of some kind. Apparently, my Insta Faces isn't loading, so I'm sorry, McCollum Music. Instagram is being a dink.
I remember when he left at first, it was about some of the things that were going on in chat and just the rudeness of some of the comments.
Well, and that was the thing, like, oh, you're playing this kind of guitar through this. So what?
And he was like, I don't need this, you know.
No.
And then he came back and
he was going to open jams and having fun. And fine, great. Honestly, Charles, a lot more of us need to do that. I was going to say a lot more of you, but I should too. But where you are in that journey, like, okay, I'm further down the journey than you are, Charles. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
So it would say be going out and finding those open mic nights, open jams, where you're just sitting around and it's a lot of 12-bar blues and you just you want to take a lead? Nope, I'm good just playing rhythm tonight. Thank you very much. Whatever your comfort level is. Or maybe you do perform a solo acoustic on your own, whatever. Fine. For me, it's kind of, I could do that, but it's kind of a waste of time for me in a way, because I can do that here live, for one. So that's my open mic, open jam, whatever you want to call it, because I can just perform for you fine folks, which is awesome. For me, if I'm gonna take this crap out of here and my back and take guitars and tune and play a pants shaking volume, I'm starting a band. I'm playing in a band. Yeah. For me to. And we're getting paid. I ain't doing it for peanuts anymore either.
Yeah, and it's a different skill set. I mean, you've been out and you've played live, and to go back into just a jam situation, it wouldn't be as fun because you've had that rush of the crowd and all that, and it's not. I would imagine it's not the same thing, right?
Yeah, but it also is fun doing that as well. Like I was doing that a bit. What did I say? Last year and a half ago, with my buddy Mihai and Frank. I think the guy's name. I don't know. The guy had a Mexican telly and Blues Junior. See, I remember his gear. Don't remember his name. Remember his gear.
Well, it's the important stuff.
Yeah, and when we played, he was I'll say, Charles, adequate guitar player. Sense of rhythm. Nothing fancy, sense of rhythm. I don't remember Matt necessarily even taking a lead break, and he was okay with that. And I'm not bragging on myself for my lead playing, but because literally I only just started learning how to play lead within 6 months before I started my YouTube channel, and it's mostly since. But I can adequately do a pentatonic, live in the pentatonic scale, blah blah blah. All right. Oh, and there we go. Mark it down, Charles. Paul McNary might be back in Denver first weekend of August. So
I knew it.
if we're missing Paul, everyone should check.
All right.
Denver first.
Guitar. Yeah.
Check Denver first is what I'm saying. So
thanks for the warning. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and we kind of played, and it's two guitar players and a drummer, which is okay for a couple of weeks. But I'm like, so what are we doing here? I'm okay with playing in a band that never gigs. If it's just strictly a jam band, we'll say, Charles, you and me and, Tom and Paul McNary and three cats for some reason. Cats just fucking smash shit on drum kit. Whatever. They're consistent. They keep time. I don't understand. Whatever Paul's feeding them. So it's fine. But if it's just a bunch of guys getting together and jamming, great. But it's got to be a full band situation. I don't want to just jam with another guitar player and a drummer, or just me and a drummer necessarily, unless it's for writing purposes, or actually, because it is fun to just jam. I'm not going to lie. There is something about it's greater than the parts.
I'm sorry. No, I get that. I get that, and for each of us, it's a different thing. It's like, what is your need at this point in time, like musically? And let's face it, we're all playing this stuff because we're all a bit crazy anyway.
We got a rare, not even the end of the show, Daryl Palmer sightings, which tells me Dale might be nodding off.
Wow.
Dale wanted to get in before he fell asleep. What's up, Dale?
No, I love it how the message was retracted, though. It's like, too early.
So it was nodding off. Did a little clickety clack.
You might have been. Might have been. But no, we it's we all. I think Lass has something to this. We all come to music to really kind of heal ourselves, right? Because we all have things going on, and just dealing with the world in general, it really helps. So, and within that, we all need different things within it.
Yeah, Mark Taft mentions, Ben, do you remember when I was able to acquire some band practice space for you guys at the local Salvation Army church? Yeah, so it was in a strip mall right near Mark's place, which is convenient because Mark would bring snacks as well, Charles. It was catered. That's what I'm saying. It was catered. You guys like peanut butter cookies? Fuck yes. Hot out of the oven, even better because I'm high and I just been playing Sparkle. So, hashtag awesome. And so we could crank it up because there was you didn't have to worry about people working in offices or in the cafeteria area. The place was shut down for the evening is what I'm saying, Charles. They're all gone by 5 p.m., right? So, and they had house drum kit. So we just had to bring breakables, which means,
even better.
For those who don't know, that means you bring your own cymbals and likely snare drum as well.
Yeah.
And he brought a kick pedal because he had a double kick.
Interesting. Jay Santiago says his dad's band only played 2 shows, but they practiced, jammed, and partied for 3 years.
Love it. You know what? Charles, those 2 shows were out of spite.
Yes.
Right? Because some of the wives were complaining.
Yeah.
They're like, look, all you got, you come home, you smell like booze and weed. You probably shouldn't even been driving. Fine. Hanging with you. Why don't you do something? Put up or shut up. All right. And then somebody gets you for buddy's bar mitzvah or birthday or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll show you. We can giggle. We'll show you.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, and with Mark securing that space for us, Charles, we were able to play at volume.
Yeah.
Which meant when you got a new piece of gear, sometimes it sounds okay in here, but until you crank it up, all of a sudden, that minute little noise at bedroom volume becomes abundantly clear at stage volume. And plus, when you got new gear, well, it's nothing better than cranking up new gear nice and loud. And so, we jammed there before we had a drummer. I think we started actually jamming there with just bass player, 2 guitar players. Which prior to that, we had been doing some jamming, headphone-based, playing to essentially a click. Well, all right, there was a Casio keyboard that has a drum machine, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rich had looked up all the BPMs for the songs, so you find somewhat of a beat at that BPM. So it kind of worked, but it really didn't. Because like Steve from Boston playing to a drum track, it makes everything into like a oomsa song. It's the K-Tel Records version.
The same, yeah.
Disco remixes, Yeah. So, yeah.
There's a really interesting update on that Jay Santiago story. Apparently, the singer's wife wanted him to wear clothes that she had sewed for them.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh. And you know what I'm thinking, Charles? Because my dad missed out on, but okay, if you were in a band in the 70s into the early 80s, you wore matching outfits.
Yeah.
And a lot of those bands that wore matching outfits played at the Holiday Inn circuit. Because all the Holiday Inns had a lounge, the Starlight Lounge, right? And you're Murph and the Murphtones playing the Starlight Lounge with the matching outfits. Like when they do that in the Blues Brothers and they find Murph and the Murphtones and with the fucking mohair on the fucking equipment.
Mohair on the speakers, yep.
That shit was real. Because the first time I saw that scene was my father, Charles. The man burst out laughing, and he only laughed at a handful of things on television ever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, "Yep." I was like, and I realized prior to us moving down here, we lived in and around Toronto quite a bit, and there you go. We'll just tie this in with Canadiana. So everyone, we talk about Red Green in the Red Green show. So prior to Red Green, Steve Smith had a show with his wife called Smith and Smith. Okay. Yeah, which was kind of a variety show, some comedy skits, and they did music as well. Husband and wife duo. Husband and wife duos. Yeah. Dad was at a convention in Scarborough. Could have been a Holiday Inn, but whatever, right? Went down to the lounge, right? Who's performing? Smith and Smith. To like 6 people. So he could take an extra. And Dad was told at the hospital, he was like, "Hey, we're talking about time." I'm like, no! What the hell? When did you hang out with Steve Smith for like half an hour to an hour? And they were just, talking about the business and this and that. And that was before he started his first TV show. And they were just a husband-wife duo playing the lounge circuit, playing standards.
The mystery of graphite and cigars is opening up a little bit more here. He says when he was young, his jam space was an abandoned Winnebago. Him and his buddies in his buddy's backyard, and they ran power from the house. They had fans, and they had all their gear in there for like 2 years.
I bet you that place smelled like socks and farts.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh dear Lord. Yeah, I'm just picturing one extension cable, and that thing is just hot to the touch, just warm, warm, and not because it's out in the sun.
No, and there's a brown spot where that cord has touched the white part of the Winnebago at some point.
Oh yeah. And the grass is dead under it, like it's. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A little charred line in the grass. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, when you guys stop playing in the Winnebago, I can hear the power cable. I can hear the electricity running through that cable in the yard. It's got a hum. I love it.
This is good stuff.
This is very good stuff. First place I jammed in a band environment, we'll call it. We had tried to put something together in high school. Drummer was a high school dropout, a couple years older than us, but he had drum kit.
There you go.
But he worked shift work. So he was only available 2 out of every 6 weeks. So we kind of had a drummer in the band, but the other guitar player, because it was just 2 of us guitar players, the other guitar player, former high school dropout, but returned, so a couple of years older than me, but was in the same grade, played a Hagstrom. Oh, beautiful Hagstrom.
Ooh.
Yeah, black, all black. Super sweet. Oh, beautiful. Given to him by a friend's father. His friend had issues, we'll say, and is no longer with us, so the father gave him the guitar, so he vowed to learn that. And so he wanted to put something, and he had a younger brother, though, who played drums. Kind of. Adequate for when the actual drummer wasn't around. And we played in their basement, which a basement like this, so a cement block basement with 0 hearing protection. So I had tinnitus by fucking grade 11. And I've had it ever since. So that's why I'm like, I don't know, it's the playing, like, yeah, because we turned up, to keep up with the drums, and his younger brother just beat the fuck out of this drum. He Bonham influence, if you will. To the point where we play, downstairs, windows closed, not blocked off, but closed in the basement. Co-worker, my parents' restaurant, lived 8, 9 houses down, and they're good sized lots, kind of like here, acre lots. Could hear us play and knew what song it was. I was the only person that we would practice on Thursdays. I was the only person that went to school on Fridays because he took the next day off. His hair is blowing. I was sitting in class the next morning. It was I'm like, my ears are just blowing. That's all I'm hearing. Yeah, we used no baffles. We played. I was playing. We did. Oh yeah, I think I was taking the Vibrolux to play through, and I took along my PV Rage to sing through.
Oh gosh,
we didn't have a PA. Yes, Mark, I remember the piano there. Yeah.
Well, when I bought the Univox, and they give me this horrible little Fender amp to play it through to hear the pickups. And I'm like, well, they're okay, right? They weren't what I expected. I came home and I plugged in. World of difference on those. Just over the moon.
I would love to try playing in a mariachi band once. I'd like to sit in with one.
That would be cool.
Yeah. See you, Seth.
Here in middle school and high school, you could take mariachi as a class.
Are you kidding me?
No.
That's not available here. Not available here. I was lucky to get 2 years of classical guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And by classical guitar, really the first year was beginner guitar because you didn't even have to have a classical guitar. You just had to have an acoustic at least.
Right.
So I didn't get a classical guitar the first year because I didn't see the point because I didn't need one. Because I could do everything on an acoustic that they asked. Because literally, the mid-exam, like your mid-point was like basically tune the guitar, play a few chords. I was already in the band we were talking about. That was also grade 11. So
yeah,
same time. And then the final exam was the intro to Stairway to Heaven. So
that's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. So,
yes, Eddie, it is in Texas. Yes, mariachi
which
band.
was fun. What little added to the no stairway rule in music stores because we all knew it because that's what your final exam for first year was. Didn't have to play in a concert evening or anything like that. Eddie asked, Ben, are there many Irish Celtic bar bands where you are? No, not around here. Out east. All of them. All of them. Like, all of them, Charles. Like, growing up, my dad had an aunt. I want to say a great aunt. Not an actual aunt, but maybe a great aunt. Only spoke Gaelic.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that's why when I had our friend Stuart Cameron come on here a few while back, I'm like, what the hell is the difference between jigging and reel? He's like, one's in 4/4, one's in 3/4. I'm like, yeah, they're all in the fucking key of C. Because all I'm hearing is C's, F's, G's, and variants thereof, possibly sevenths and or minors. But I didn't realize when I seen him play live and my dad did not care about Doug and his fucking father love that shit, Charles. Love that fucking shit. My dad? Fuck no. He's like, give me Chuck Berry. Give me anything out of Memphis. My dad. He's like, give me. Yeah. And all he hears is, I was by Bill's boat locally. And he's like, no. Well, you know any of this? No.
Well, Bo is saying that he played in a Polish polka orchestra in the early 70s.
They had matching outfits, girls. They had matching outfits.
Oh, Oh, fuck. There were accordions involved in everything.
Sure. That's what I'm picturing. The Schmengi brothers, fucking Lederhosen or some Polish variant thereof. Was there a fucking tuba player in the band? Oh yeah, you got to. The original Oomsa band. Oofta, man. This is wild. This is wild.
So Patrick Trite says, in grade 11 and 12, I took band class, which was me getting stoned and playing guitar in a practice room. I did play bass in the jazz band as well for extra credit.
Nice. I played an orchestra band for 1 year. That did not go well. I did it, but let's just say myself and the music teacher didn't exactly see eye to eye, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taking grade 9 band in grade 10 for whatever reason, because I figured it'd be easier. Did not see eye to eye. And then the next year, come back, take classical guitar intro, or classical guitar 101 or whatever they call it. Who's my teacher? Same fucking teacher that did the brass section of the big band stuff. And then the next year, grade 12, he's also my teacher. We really did not see eye to eye. Although, let's just say he supplied me with guitar strings all through grade 12 because he sold guitar strings. The school would sell you replacement strings for acoustic, classical, or electric. Fun fact. So they got the 10 packs of like the Ernie Ball stacks.
So Ben, are you telling me your band teacher had you strung along?
No. Quite the opposite. Because he kept them in the desk drawer. It's one of those 70s desks that really the lock pick is not hard. Just a simple little. It's as hard as picking the lock on a guitar case. Is what I'm saying. So I didn't pay for strings for 6 months. And then someone noticed because someone went to buy a pack and he's like, hey, where are all my strings? Oh. But we were using his office as a classroom because there was only 3 of us in the advanced class to the point where for concert night we had to bring in ringers. Which was literally local players that didn't even take the class. It was funny. Very few people that I knew that played guitar in high school, Charles, actually took the course. Well, like I say, by the second year, it was only 3 of us. And for whatever reason, nobody took it because they're like, I'm like, why wouldn't you take it? It's the easiest credit you'll ever have in high school. It's like, tune your guitar. Okay. You get an A. Well, fucking thanks. You want to boost up your GPA? Take fucking beginner guitar when you already know how to play guitar. It's a wonderful experience. It'd probably be like taking, Spanish 101 and being fucking fluent already. Oh, yeah. Dad's Martin had fresh strings once a month.
There you go.
Yeah, Tune Your Guitar was like the midway point because it was just like literally intro. Okay, the first test, point out all the different. These are the strings. These are the frets. These are the tuning pegs. Here you go. You did the test that takes half an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah. Can I go out and grab a smoke while the rest of the class is actually taking the test? Yes.
Oh my God.
No, actually, it would be a no, Charles. I'm like, fine. Can I go to the bathroom then? I'll be back in about as long as it takes to have a smoke. Because I'd just be fucking obvious about it. Because, again, didn't get along already, Charles. We didn't get along.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I think, he was starting to gig a bit because the teachers were putting a band together, a few teachers. And if you're going to gig, this was very much a union area. So you had union bars and non-union bars, and there wasn't really any non-union bars that had music.
Right.
And my dad was the president of the musicians local. And you think, and Charles, if you think a 17-year-old me is opinionated, have you met my father? Who was full send Dave at that time, full send, with the hat and the jacket and the collar, and you've seen the photos.
I've seen the pictures, yes.
Yeah, because even after he stopped gigging, he never stopped the look.
No.
Kenny Rogers style, with the hair and the beard and on point, black hat. And what's that? Is that a little fucking piece of, gold? No, little Telecaster on the fucking hat.
Of course.
Kidding me?
Oh. There is, I'm looking in the chat and there's a bunch of all these really cool stories. It's like the guy wanted to play guitar and he went in and they were pushing the accordion on him because it was the hip instrument at the time. I think it was Dana, New Jersey. I think that was. But yeah.
Well, it has been a couple hours, Charles.
It has been. It's flown by. It doesn't seem like it.
No. It's like a well-oiled machine or something. No, it's because I've noticed tonight. I just sat back because you've been controlling the chat because you're like all professional now, and I don't know. Somehow you're more caught up on my chat tonight than you were on your own earlier.
Well, I've had time to rest.
I guess. Yeah, I only got 65 crazy people watching. It's awesome.
That's incredible after 2 hours.
Yeah. I don't care for the accordion. There, I said it.
I don't think I would be coordinated enough to play accordion. Just this whole idea of squeeze and play at the same time.
Well, I know one side it's like you're doing chord like bass pedal deal, I think. Mm-hmm. And then the other one's yeah. So,
I don't know.
Bagpipes are worse, much worse, Eddie. Are they even considered an instrument? You can't play them in a fucking band. If it has to be a own standalone thing, that's like fucking didgeridoo. It's a fucking fancy stick that you're making noises in. Nelson Rodriguez, you legend. What's up? I don't know.
Well, and then you're squeezing a bag under your armpit while you're blowing and fingering. That just nightmare. I don't know.
Yeah, they did it once. One band has been able to, and it took.
And there's a reason why they did it. But well, it's and if you've got bagpipes playing with you, you're at their mercy.
Yeah, that's right. You got to get them all warmed up, and I know, Charles, because I remember doing sound at an event, and I had a fucking migraine, right? And it was at the officers' quarters on base. So you got the fucking dais, fancy word for a fucking long table. And we got the microphone set up with the PA system, right?
Yeah.
All right. And I think it was, a new honorary colonel for the base, because every base has an honorary colonel. Why? I don't know, Charles. I don't know. But there was the changeover for that. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, I hear the murmurs, blah, blah, blah. And I managed to snag a cup of coffee. So I'm drinking coffee with a cup and saucer. Way too fucking high class. Not comfortable. got a headache. And I'm just inside the door, and I hear him fucking starting up outside. I'm like, oh no! And then coming by, they're way louder than you expect, and he's just full send, just giving her. I'm like, no. Jesus. And the drums that they get with them, when they got that fiberglass snare, it's like rocket, just gunfire when they hit that thing. Ooh, so loud. Crazy. Dropkick Murphys. Yeah, but
I highly suggest you go back after this show is over, once they post all the comments, because there are some things here they're going to just make you roll over.
Yeah.
But Elbard says he had a friend whose parents hired an accordion player. He played Jump, Van Halen's Jump on it. It was actually quite very good.
That would be the changeover through the 80s, right? Where you have that carryover of the accordion entertainers of the 60s and 70s still trying to stay relevant, like fucking up there playing Karma Chameleon on a fucking accordion for Bobby's birthday.
And you can just hear the guy saying, look, accordion is cool.
Yeah. No, it isn't. That is cool, but it's not.
Oh.
Hey, good time tonight. Lots of laughs. See, this is, Charles was a substitute guest tonight. I don't know if we mentioned that on air, folks. I got a message this morning, and I immediately then messaged Charles. Like, I know a fella already does a show now. He's a big star. But can he help another fella out? And he says, absolutely. No problem. He's making up to his wife tomorrow. But he probably won't be in tomorrow night's chat, folks, is what I'm saying. He might be in lurk mode. Sometimes he tunes in from the car and stuff.
There might be some driving involved in that listening, yes. So, but I appreciate it. This was certainly a lot of fun. It's always a pleasure to be on your show, and appreciate everything that you've done for me as I've gone through my my YouTube journey. So,
speaking of what you do for your guitar lesson soon,
yeah,
gave Trev one on Friday night. That went okay, but then it went sideways. But
well, we need to get that scheduled because I think that's the only way. If I don't say this date, this time, I'll find a reason not to do it. But I'm very much looking forward to that. Yes, I know.
Oh, that time. So on that note, literally, he's been Charles. I've been Ben. Y'all have been y'all. Why don't you hold those doors open so Charles can get the fuck out of here as quickly as possible? Let him ahead of you in traffic because, like Doug, his wife is real.
She is. And she is great and wonderful.
She is. All greatness and wonderfulness. You can show her this on the replay, Charles. And, thanks everybody that tuned in tonight. Special shout out to Ben Tom, who gifted 49 memberships, I think. I don't know what it was. Some weird number. And anybody that super chatted, I really appreciate it. And just to continue to support, I'll be back tomorrow night with Trev and Terry with Canucks with Guitars live Q&A and more virtual busking, Charles, for your
there you go.
Requests. We'll be doing super chat requests. No, we can't eat Lunatic Fringe. No. Tom Cockring said no.
What if they pay extra?
Well, if there's if the super chat's enough, then I guess it would offset the copyright, lack of advertising and such. So again, he's still Charles. See,
still,
Eddie's still Eddie. Shout out to the mod squad, #mod squad for helping out doing the mod stuff. Terry's with all the links tonight. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, really appreciate that.
I got one demo in the can. I got to do something by Friday for Friday. Ooh, is that? I think. Let me double check. Let's tell everyone because people are nodding off and stuff. Fender American Pro 2, Charles Jazzmaster.
Don't say that to me.
I get partway through the demo before I realize the pickup selector does nothing when it's in the rhythm position. Did I edit all that out? No, it's all in there for your. It's all in there for your viewing. I was like, you'll see that moment of all of a sudden it'll dawn on me like this does nothing. I'm like, who knew? And you're all watching. We knew. Everyone that's ever fucking played one knows.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. So tune into that, folks, and then more. Hopefully, I'm going to get over to L&M in the next day or two and shoot some more videos because I like shooting videos over there. That's fun. I can knock them out, and they're some Kramers over there, and I don't know a Gretsch.
You better be a Gretsch.
Well, the Gretsch video, nobody cares for the Gretsch in the algorithm went the last couple I've done. But for you, I will see if I can snag on another Gretsch. I think there's one with P90s in it. Or at least one P90.
That would be interesting.
Would. All right. We'll do a short outro because we've rambled long enough, folks. Good night. Well, sub to Charles. Guitar Safari. Guitar Safari.